Welcome to my class, Confidence 101, with Professor Rena MD. Moderately delusional. Why am I moderately delusional? Because you have to be moderately delusional to have confidence. Students, don't sleep in my class. Don't sleep in my class, mister. The advantage of living in the 21st century is that truth is relative. Relative. Do you know what that means? No? Do I look like a dictionary? A librarian? Don't answer that. You can think about the relativity of truth like you think about that one relative. That one aunt you have that pulls you aside at parties and says all sorts of things like, on 9/11, JFK, who was never assassinated, met with Joe Biden on the moon to invent the coronavirus. And you know why? So they could take over the world. Because they wanted to team up with the Kardashians, who are aliens. You didn't know they were aliens? They're hot aliens, the most dangerous kind. As you can see, you can play God and just invent truth however you want, whenever you want. On the first day of creation, on the 7th day of creation, really any day of the week. You can just say stuff and people will believe it. Why? Because truth is relative. Is this going to destroy democracy? Probably. But it's also your one-way ticket to confidence. It's kind of like the S&P 500 if you think about it. The S&P 500 is all of the 500 most wealthy corporations in America. Why are they wealthy? Because they exploit people. Is it moral to invest in those companies? Are you gonna make a profit? Yeah. Here's the thing. Chances are you're not quite as moral as you think you are. I saw you throw that recyclable into the garbage. Are you ready to learn how to be confident, Banjo?
Oh, are you ready to exploit delusions to be confident with me, Banjo?
Oh, you look like you're super ready to learn how to be so confident. Oh, you're so cute. Certain influencers and, 14-year-old girls might tell you, wear what makes you feel beautiful and then you will be confident. I disagree. I would personally advise you to wear whatever makes you feel uncomfortable, absurd, inelegant, ugly, and especially clownish. Because the more absurd you are and the more often you get away with being absurd, the less you're going to feel affected by what anyone thinks of you. For example, if I were to show you the outfits that I would wear in a week, you might think, is a carnival in town? And you know what nobody's going to do? Nobody's going to do this. 1-800-FASHION-POLICE.
Hello?
Hello? I'd like to report a crime. A fashion massacre. No, not khakis. Yes, I know it's white boy summer. Hot Topic jeans? No. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Goodbye. And even if they were to call the fashion police on you, you could call the fashion police on them. Why? Because my father always taught me that fashion is fascism and style is individuality. Am I wearing a matronly dress? Yes. Is it from France? Also yes. Rule number 1. Fashion is fascism. Style is individuality. Individuality is confidence, and confidence is global domination. When I moved to New York, I immediately had more confidence because everybody there looks ridiculous. Or they stay home. They stay inside or they're wearing a full-on outfit. The thing about exposure to the absurd is it makes you feel more secure in yourself because you think, wow, if those people can go out and look like that, then I can go out and look like whatever I want too. And also in New York, I met a girl named Molly who I later moved to Vancouver with to go to painting school. She would wear feathers in her hair and all sorts of kind of extremely adventurous outfits.
Which brings me to rule 2. Friends are the fulcrum that confidence sits on.
Moving on. Get a sense of humor. Getting a sense of humor is not the same thing as being funny. I personally know this from experience. This one summer I dated 4 different comedians and they all kind of broke up with me because I wasn't very funny. And in high school, my first ever boyfriend spread the rumor around high school that I wasn't very funny, which in retrospect was hilarious. But did it lead to confidence issues? Do I still talk about it in therapy? Anyway, having a sense of humor is great because then you can have a sense of humor about yourself. And the more you have a sense of humor about yourself, the more you're able to kind of, I don't know, roast yourself and let the parts of yourself that are a little bit less endearing and charming kind of roll off of you, and you're able to better accept your full self. Rule 3 is, you guessed it, sense of humor divided by comedians who broke up with you equals confidence. I'm an only child, so I grew up, like every child, catching butterflies in the yard, but because I didn't have other friends to, play with, siblings to fight, etc., I kind of just pretended that I was like the star of my own show. And the show would basically go like this. Rena catches a butterfly. Rena releases a butterfly. Rena goes and plays on the swing. Rena goes and looks at the clouds. Rena wonders, what is God? What is death? Why the am I here? Then little Rena would go sit in an olive tree. Please, nobody tell my younger self that she would be fired as a scriptwriter immediately. Then in early adolescence, I started keeping a diary. I was super religious about my diary. Every night I would have to write in my diary, and now I have all of these diaries, and it's really nice to look back on them and go, oh, he broke your heart. Oh, and she broke your heart. Oh, I forgot about him, he also broke your heart. The wonderful thing about keeping diaries is that you have this beautiful running account of your life, and you're able to kind of see yourself in a more objective perspective when you look back on them, and also you're able to kind of have all of this fodder for telling stories. And telling stories is something that will entertain people, and entertaining people can give you confidence. Another thing is, I'm personally a poet, right? So I write confessional poetry, and I kind of accidentally stumbled into publishing my first book at 19, which is, oh boy, an embarrassing age. Really, every 19-year-old should be embarrassed. If a 19-year-old is not embarrassed now, they will look back on themselves at 19 and they will be embarrassed. Anyway, so I have all of these paintings and poems, in this little book that is probably sitting on several continents on people's bookshelves, and I have to just be okay with that. It's cool to be kind of embarrassed about some stuff. It's cool. And what is number 4? That's right.
Embarrassingly self-interested to an amusing extent plus self-confessional equals confidence. QED.
Okay, this is my favorite one. Fall in love more often. Heartbreak is inevitable. I feel like people think about heartbreak the wrong way. You're going to have your heart broken, whether it's by somebody who dies or somebody who breaks up with you, or a pet that gets hit by a car, whatever. Your heart is going to absolutely shatter. So you might as well get used to it. You might as well go and put yourself out there and have lots of crushes and fall in love with that girl on the subway with that nice hair. Hey baby. Or that guy in your gym class who is sweating a little too hard. Hey baby. Or that person walking that dog. I love that dog. Not like that. I just love dogs.
That's right. Number of heartbreaks times number of new crushes acquired daily equals confidence. QED. Bam.
Another confidence tip I have is to consume media that makes you feel confident. Don't, consume all of those beautiful girls on Instagram with their beautiful bodies being all beautiful. No. Watch YouTube videos of me, and then at least you can think, at least I haven't started a YouTube channel. The sum of the effluence of influencers multiplied by the confluence of losers equals confidence. QED.
Hello? Hello? Students these days.